So in this video, I'm going to look at NIO's fourth quarter 2022 conference call that management held with investors to try and figure out what's going on with NIO stock. But before I get into that, I want to take a look at its price action in recent months, and then I'll get into what the CEO talked about in terms of the company's prospects, and that could explain what's going on with the stock price and give investors some insight as to where NIO's stock price could go over the near term and long term. Let's get into it. Starting with NIO's price action, you can see the stock trading at $8.50 as of this recording, and that's come down from the highs over $12 per share earlier in January. But the stock started the year a little over $9.60. Of course, the overall stock markets around the world experienced a boom in January. You can remember there was a lot of enthusiasm in the stock market, and that enthusiasm has given way to pessimism as the Federal Reserve has continued raising interest rates, as inflation has persisted, and now recently some regional banks are showing signs of faltering, right? There was that whole thing with Silicon Valley Bank over the weekend that rattled investors, and so the enthusiasm in the market is coming down. And of course, whenever that happens, the impact on unprofitable growth stocks is much more than on profitable cash flow positive stocks, okay? And so that can partly explain the price action for NIO. And the other side of it is what we're going to get into is the company specific aspects. And the CEO, William Lee, on March 1st held a conference call, an earnings call, and discussed the highlights. So, one of the first things he mentioned was in the fourth quarter of 2022, NIO delivered a total of 4,052 smart electric vehicles. That was up 60% year over year and a new record for the company. NIO was the best selling brand in China's premium EV market, priced over RMB 300,000. They got a market share over 54%. So they're really strong in China, and they're expanding to other regions. But for now, their core market in China, it's really strong for them. They're a dominant player in that core premium Chinese EV market. In January and February of 2023, they delivered 20,663 vehicles, representing just 30.89% increase year over year. So a big fall off, nearly half the rate of the 60% growth they experienced in the fourth quarter. And of course, the big news about that is that China ended the subsidies for EVs, and that is decreasing demand in for EVs in China. And this is across the board. It's not just NIO experiencing the decrease in customer demand for EVs. All of the major players are experiencing that. Moving on, CEO says that on December 24th, we held the NIO Day in 2022, where we launched the smart electric flagship coupe SUV, the EC7, an all around flagship SUV, and the all new ES8. So, two new models that they announced. The delivery of the EC7 is expected to start in May, and the delivery of the ES8 is expected to start in June. So, two brand new models coming out in the first half of 2023. And the company says that there's widespread interest in these new models. So, this could be a boost for NIO in the first half of, I should say, probably more so in the second half of 2023. The first half is just kind of get rolling it out, getting it started. The second half is when it could really start to help sales. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. Moving on, in terms of their charging and swapping network, remember now NIO has this strategy where in addition to allowing you to charge your batteries, you can also swap out your battery when you go in to a charging station, and this is faster than the traditional charging. So this is a point of interest for consumers because one of the more annoying things with EVs is that they take much longer to fill up, as you say, compared to ICE cars, right? You go to a gas station, you could fill up in 5 minutes and be on your way. With EVs, that could take as much as 30 minutes or even longer. And so that's a sticking point, but the battery swapping service is much faster. That those are more closer to 15 minutes instead of 30 minutes. And so one way NIO is increasing consumer demand is by rolling out more of these battery swapping stations. And the more of these stations in existence, the more customers are going to be interested in NIO's cars. So now they have a total of 1,331 power swap stations, and they provided over 18 million battery swaps so far. In 2022, 50% of power charged by our users is from battery swapping stations, which has become the most convenient and favorite solution among new users. So for now, 50% are using that, but I would imagine the more available it becomes, the more uh, drivers will choose this option. Again, they say it's the favorite solution, so customers favor this one, but it's just not everywhere they would like it to be, so they have to choose another option when the swapping option is not available. So in 2023, NIO will speed up the development of the battery swapping network, and they plan to add 1,000 power swap stations, so nearly double their 1331. They're going to add another 1,000 in 2023, and they're going to start large scale production expected in April. So this is it's going to be a large expense on NIO's behalf. They're going to have to spend to build out this network, but this network could spur consumer demand for its cars. So it's kind of like it helps boost car demand, because if you know there's a network nearby where you can swap out your battery, customers near one of those stations are going to be more interested in buying these cars. I noted that the company is strong in China, but on January 31st, 2023, they started to deliver the EL7, their mid to large smart electric SUV, to the first batch of users in Europe. So they are expanding in Europe. January 31, they started with the EL7 model, and they had other models already in that region. So from this commentary from the CEO, we start to get an idea of what's going on with NIO stock, and we can kind of get an idea why the stock price uh, has come down and has lost its steam here in 2023. One of the main negative points we noticed here from the CEO was that the growth in the first 2 months of 2023 is nearly half the rate it was in the fourth quarter. So a big drop off in revenue growth because of well, not all due to the decrease in the subsidies, but partly due to the rolling off of subsidies in the Chinese market. So that was a big disappointment. And then announcing that they're going to be rolling out 1,000 new battery swap stations is certainly going to impact profitability for the company. And so that may be another reason why investors are a little hesitant about NIO stock. But nevertheless, the CEO did provide great insights to us so that we can learn more about what's going on with the company and give us more information to make decisions about investing in NIO stock. All right, so that's all I've got for this video. I truly appreciate your viewership. I know there's a lot of things you could be doing right now, but you chose to watch this video with me. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I'm going to link you to a few other of my videos at the end of this one that I think you will enjoy. So please click on one of those, and I'll see you over there.